Peter Vial, the son of, he was captain during the Greek campaign, but ended the war as a major and was the Military Cross.
Thanks very much, Jim. I cannot first say what a pleasure it is to be here tonight. My father was born in Camberwell in July 1915. Jim tells me that was the month before the Australian nurses landed on Lemnos during the Gallipoli campaign. Auspicious timing, given his future part in the story of the Second Anzacs in Greece. He enlisted at the outbreak of the Second World War, and by the time he arrived in Greece, Rob was a captain in the headquarters of the Australian 6th Division. Like many young Australians who arrived in Athens throughout March and early April 1941, Rob was able to spend a day's leave enjoying some of the cultural and other entertainments of the city. His post-war memoir records his visit to the Acropolis, the Temple of the Winds, and the Church of St. George. I see from Jim's book that Alfred Huggins also visited the Acropolis, and Kevin Byrne was photographed in Athens' famous Syntagma Square. The same evening, Robert and his mates enjoyed a visit to what was called the Anglo-Hellenic Club in Athens, a crowded venue for promoting good feeling between the Allied troops and local population. I'll leave that to your imagination. But like all other young Australians who were there, this was only a short respite. Soon Rob and the headquarters were moving north to meet the German threat. His role as an intelligence officer would see him delivering orders to troops stationed across the front, often riding a motorbike, returning with reports. His post-war memoir records his many missions in the area, to Vera, Kazani, Pedrica, and the Servia Pass. A few days later, the region became the front line in the Allied defence of Greece. Soon the area was engulfed in battle as Australian and other Allied troops met the German advance. Confronted by superior forces and subject to constant daytime enemy air attack, the Allies soon began their long defensive retreat to the evacuation beaches of southern Greece. Rob recorded this period in his memoir, having to look out for enemy planes as he raced along the region on his motorbike. He writes of one incident near Larissa, where he was reconnoitring an airfield when a 4-engine Dornier bomber came in at him at 300 feet. He could see the pilot and machine gunners, and fearing death, stood beside his bike, and Rob decided to salute the pilot. The ruse worked. The plane flew on without firing on him. Rob also wrote of the terrible damage inflicted on the local towns, especially Larissa. The bomb roads, crowded with civilians desperately trying to escape the fighting. One of the most memorable parts of Rob's Greek campaign was his escape from capture. Like Sid Grant, he decided not to accept surrender in the hours before Kalamata fell to the Germans. He made off down the coast to Mani, again suffering enemy air attacks and pursued by ground troops. He was helped by locals along the way. One local girl who acted as a guide gave Rob her lunch. Rob's Greek campaign, would effectively come to an end in the same village as Sid Grant, the coastal town of Trujillo. It appears from Jim's research that Rob was hidden and helped by the local people in the same village church as Sid Grant. In the early hours of 1st of May, Rob, Sid and the other Allied troops at Trujillo were evacuated by a British warship which took them to Alexandria. One of my father's interests was photography. He loved taking photographs, so it's no wonder that he took his camera with him to war and captured his experiences in over 3,000 photographs, many taken in Greece. His devotion to his photography ensured that he even took time to purchase a telephoto lens for his camera while in Athens. Looking at the photographs taken by his fellow Anzacs, Sid and Alfred, I can see how important these photographic records are for all of us interested in the Greek campaign. A few months ago I contacted Jim in response to an article he wrote about Rob, published in Neos Cosmos. He told me about the photographs taken by Sid and Alfred and how their families had decided to donate the collections to the State Library of Victoria for their preservation. Later, I had the opportunity to read Grecian Adventure and view these photographs. So, after much thought, I would like to announce tonight that we have also decided to donate Rob's photographic collection of over 3,000 photos to the State Library of Victoria. We believe it's only fitting that they take their place along with Sid and Alfred's collections. I would encourage others with similar collections to consider donating them to the library. Our family is currently in the process of trying to produce a video documentary of Rob's wartime experiences, as well as that of his elder brother Lee, who was a famous coast watcher and played a pivotal role in the defence of Port Moresby. Lee was killed in New Guinea. I would like to congratulate Jim on his book. It's a cracking read, a great guide to the campaign experience by my father. I also congratulate Jim Claven, the local Greek authorities, for their initiative in erecting a plaque in recognition of those like Rob and Sid and the other 230 Allied soldiers who were aided by the locals in their escape from Trujillo and the other nearby villages of the Marni in 1941. On behalf of our family, I would also like to thank the Greek people for the help given to my father and our other Allied soldiers, both during the campaign and as they attempted to evade capture. No doubt, without this help, often at grave cost, many like my father would have been captured or much worse. Tonight has been a real pleasure. It has been particularly lovely to meet the other veterans' families. Thank you very much.